Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Anfield South podcast. It's me, your boy Slim. And you know I like to call myself the host with the most. It's a proper old school saying, innit? The host with the most, innit? But hey, I like it. I'm old school, innit? Hey, boys. Today with us, we got Sam to my left.
Yes. Good to be back, people.
And Paul.
Good evening.
And today, guesting on the podcast, we have a man who's been around for a little while, was in the group, but, you know, he dipped out, but he's back.
I'm back now.
What was the group too much pressure, bro?
Yeah.
It was getting the battery power. I can't lie.
1,000 messages a day is not cool, man.
You heard there was a camera and some fame about, so...
Yo,
It's before I found out about the mute button on the group. So I'm all good, man. Accept me anytime, man.
Hey, you're
I'm
welcome
good to
back
go.
anytime, bro.
We'll sort it after the show.
Now, listen, big up to JR for coming down today, guesting on the podcast.
No problem, man.
How we doing today, boys?
All good.
Yeah,
Very
man.
good.
Nice.
All right, let's dive in. The last game we played was against Crystal Palace. That was Liverpool 4, Palace 3. Now, that was a topsy-turvy game. I'm going to come to you first, Paul. Give me your thoughts. First of all...
Why me?
You like to talk, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No, just come to you first. Give me your thoughts on the lineup of that game first and foremost.
Lineup was Milner at right back, which I think we all decided that would be a good idea. So Klopp listened to us on the on the WhatsApp group. We had was it Matip? Matip
and Van Dijk.
Van
in
Dijk,
centres.
Robertson. We had two holding, double pivot, Henderson and Fabinho. Then we had Shaqiri, Firmino, Mane and Salah up top. The formation that I think we
the 4-2-3-1, the preferred formation of us all.
Palace took me by surprise. I mean, I wasn't surprised that they would leave their wingers high up the pitch, because what else can they do really? They'll sit deep, but they leave them high to bother your fullbacks. They don't want Robertson and Milner getting forward. But Milner still got forward, and a few times we got caught, obviously, on the counter-attack. But again, the resilience we showed, we're always scoring goals, and it's not the end of the world to concede 2 or 3 against a counter-attacking team.
Well, Palace have quite a good record against us, don't they? They always seem to turn up against us. So I don't know about anyone else, but I was fearing Palace. What about you, JR, man?
I was like, I've looked through the fixtures, like next 5, 6. And I saw Palace game.
You're doing things that we won't dare to do.
I knew
You need to stop all that, bro.
We need to come back to the group.
Yeah. So I had a quick look, and I saw the Palace game, and I just always think back, like, you always have one bogey team, and Palace for me is our bogey team. I'm thinking back to Klopp's first couple of years in charge. They beat us at home a few times. So I was like, this is the game. This is, in years past we would have slipped up, but we came through it. And it's good signs. It's good signs going forward.
Signs of champions.
Signs
Signs of champions. I'm just putting it out there.
Signs are good.
It was a topsy-turvy game, and in that game, Wilfred Zaha, man, what did he do to poor James Milner, man?
Bro, I said it in the group. Yeah, you said you was happy with the lineup.
No, I was happy.
Yeah, you was happy.
Yeah,
and I said, listen, Milner versus Zaha is a big problem. Yeah. And we were like, no, he'd be all right. No. That was what we call in the group rape.
I think Zaha was on it though. That was for me. That was an extraordinary performance. Milner can play fullback.
Yeah.
He can play there. He's a professional. He can read the game and he can hold the line for offside. But I suppose I forgot. Zaha doesn't like to run onto the ball. So holding the line doesn't make any difference. He likes it to feet.
Yeah, and he likes to face up players and take players on.
So yeah, it was a nightmare. It was like 3:00 kickoff, but it seemed like some pre-watershed stuff.
What was it? What was you said? It was like a porno or something like that.
My kids watch this podcast.
Explicit content, parents.
Yeah.
But do you know what? He did give him a horrid time. But
hard time.
You know what? To be fair to Milner, for most of the game he dealt with it. But ultimately,
he didn't.
I disagree,
First half.
I disagree.
Do you know what? When I say he dealt with it, I mean he didn't get sent off
he dealt
until
with him, man.
His ankle, there you go. He didn't get sent off until I don't even know how many minutes it was, but
I think it was
there you go. So the pressure, he dealt with the pressure. Fair enough.
What's funny about Milner in that one? Because usually he will go out, he's like old school. It's like he'll go and leave something on them early.
Yeah.
That's what we were expecting, isn't
That's
it?
what everyone was expecting, but he didn't. I don't know if he couldn't reach him, he couldn't get there in time, or he thought, you know what, I'm going to hold it down because, you know, he's a tricky customer. But maybe he should have done that in the beginning because he kind of not stood off him, he just treated him like, you know, you're my opponent, I'm going to try and tackle you fairly.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
You got to get close to him first. Zaha's got too much fast twitch fibers for. Yeah, so it's just Zaha at the moment. He looked up for it and he was charged up, you know. And Milner just 1-2 touches around and Milner's no one's going to catch Zaha.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Milner's getting on a bit, you know.
Yeah,
And you know what? He had no protection.
None.
All game.
Wow.
All game.
You know, we're gonna get on to that.
I mean,
We'll get onto
if
that
you're
one.
going to put a tricky winger against an aging auxiliary right back, there's going to be problems, especially if he's not got any help. And so I feared the worst from the moment I saw the lineup. I feared the worst.
Well, do you know, as soon as you brought it up, let's just touch on it now, because one of the questions I was going to ask today is, did we miss Gini Wijnaldum in the midfield, in that pivot, in that holding two? So, given the fact you said Zaha had no protection, do you feel Gini would have been better in that position?
100%. He's diligent. Yeah. Whatever you think about Winnie, you know, we've obviously gone back and forth in the group in terms of how we feel about him. He's diligent and he does his job. And you know his job would have been to veer over to the right and give him a little bit of protection, a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time it's like, you know, you say you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And I was watching it and I was thinking, rah, we actually are missing Winnie. And I thought, let the game play out. Yeah, but as the game got progressively more and more frantic, I was like, rah, where's the control? Where's that person who's going to put their foot on the ball and play a 5-yard pass
And just to slow it down a little bit.
just to slow it down.
Yeah.
And we're there screaming at the screen saying, nah, move it forward. But nah, he wasn't there for that. And the ball was moving forward too quick and it was back and forth. It was almost like the Liverpool of maybe 2 seasons ago and a little bit of last season.
Yeah.
I think Warren posted in the group the other day when we had that game against Norwich that was 5-4.
Yeah.
That madness.
Yeah,
And I
crazy.
can't watch them games no more, man. I'm
Yeah.
getting older.
Heart attack football, innit?
No, I can't.
Heart attack
I
football.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Especially at 3 o'clock and up. That's a relaxing time. I'm watching it on my phone. I'm chilling. Like, what's all that?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, it was mad. Yeah, I feel we miss Wijnaldum. He is that calming presence in that midfield. He'll get the ball, he'll hold on to it, he'll play that pass, and that he is a key component of the football we've been playing this season. That control football, like you said. So I personally believe we miss Wijnaldum in that game as well. Hence the scoreline, man. Do you know what I mean? It was 4-3. Like,
I strongly disagree with you boys.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at it as in, well, I won't even say facts. That's not really. We're just theorizing here, aren't we? This is hypotheticals. Could he have made a difference? In a 4-2-3-1, when you're 1-0 down, well, forget about the formation. We were 1-0 down. The last time we had a frantic game like that was the Arsenal game. And that was when they took the lead.
the Arsenal game at home?
Sorry, the Arsenal game at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to be... they obviously got G'd up at half-time by Klopp. So the second half was frantic. Before my stream went down, I had to put it back on again. Yeah, because it was 3 o'clock, innit?
No, we don't watch illegal streams.
Oh, yeah.
We don't actually do that.
He's
you know?
talking about the highlights, people.
I'm talking about Talksport Radio, yeah. It was 2-1. Do you know what I mean? Because we played high energy to get back in the game. Now, this is when the controversies come in, the debate. Did we lose control at 2-1? I don't think so, because I was looking at some of the stats. Like, we had 75% possession. Like, how much more control do you want?
But don't you think Palace made us play at a pace that we haven't really had to play all season?
Only because they took the lead.
Yeah.
Only because they took the lead.
No, but why did they take the lead? You've got to remember that moment, we were actually playing our normal game, but we overpressed.
I remember.
We
That's true.
We overcommitted.
That's true.
Yeah, and we got picked off.
I've got an answer for that then, right?
And
Because
in relation to Winnie as well, as to where he would have held his position.
Yeah, because depends what can you do, because Klopp picks a team, so he may have picked that team anyway. He may have played Henderson and Wijnaldum. May have played Henderson. He obviously played Henderson, Fabinho. It could be Fabinho and Wijnaldum, but one of the players that is the Gegenpressing. One player is gonna join in the pressing of the front three or the front four, whatever. It was Fabinho then. Let's not let Fabinho off because he's player of the month. He should have shuttled across and done his job.
True.
He was still in the team.
True. I agree with you, but that still says to me that if Wijnaldum was in that position, he would have done that. So in that sense to me, we missed Wijnaldum. So in what you said, you backed up my argument.
At that moment, though, did Fabinho and Henderson go? Because I only saw
only Henderson.
It was only
went.
Henderson.
Fabinho ran back with the play, but he never moved himself across to the right-hand side, anywhere near it. He stayed. He didn't even stay central.
I don't think he smelled the danger. Because Townsend's run was kind of on Fabinho's blind side, and then when he just clocked it, it was
Too late.
2-3 strides out, and he couldn't react to it. So when the ball went in the back of the net, you see Fabinho's reaction. He knew it was him.
Yeah.
He
So
should have done better.
if you lads are saying that Wijnaldum's now our Premier number 6, crack on. I'm not on that.
I'm not
boat.
even saying that. I'm just saying in relation to this game, it just felt mad frantic. And you're right, it was similar to the Arsenal game, but that game we were more clinical and we weren't getting picked off as much. And to be fair, the other 2 goals we conceded from a corner where Van Dijk was kind of being held, and late on where it took a little nick off Camacho.
The corner.
So I'm not even too worried about that, the second and the third goal, but it just seemed that we were a lot more open to chances.
I think everything was from Zaha. Can anyone remind me of a chance they created on Robertson's side through Townsend? I don't think it happened. The last time we had a frantic game at Anfield, we won 5-1, but Iwobi, we were talking about him earlier, he had a decent game.
Yeah.
He had the ball as much as like maybe Zaha did, but Zaha is a next level player.
Yeah.
He had the ball maybe 6 occasions, 6 moments. He got Milner fouled him twice. He got a corner for a goal. He created a goal and done another sort of wizardry as well. Do you know what I mean? I think it's down to the
I think
player.
the second half they dealt with Zaha a bit better than the first half, because there was a couple of instances they had the break on and Milner might have got a tackle in, or one of the midfielders came across. So I think definitely at half time that was addressed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I can't really comment on the second half because unfortunately I didn't get to watch the whole game, which is the first time this season I haven't watched the whole game. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What you mean? Yeah. But you know,
It's really poor from the host there.
life
I mean,
takes
to be
over
fair,
sometimes.
yeah.
It's poor form. It's poor form. I accept that.
Slap yourself, bro.
Yeah. And I was disappointed in the match of the day highlights because match of
was
the
just
day.
nonsense.
You got to watch
generally
Game of the
is
Day on
nonsense.
Sky.
Yeah, you do.
8:30 Game of the Day. You watch it all.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I should have been watching. But you know what? I enough research, enough information to know what was going on throughout the whole game. But anyway, what I wanted to ask everyone is what was a key moment in that game for us? And you're looking at me, Paul, so I'm asking you first.
Oh.
Go on, JR, because Paul's thinking.
I was still thinking.
I think getting the third goal when we did, I think if it went on a bit much longer, we would have maybe pressed and got caught on a sucker, on a sucker counter attack. So I think the third goal, just to put our foot back down, and just calm us. I think at the time we got it, well, obviously, thank you for Speroni. I don't know how you done that, bro. But
Yeah,
you know what?
that was
Thank
a
you.
special mistake,
No,
I mean,
very
I think he was
special.
practicing his Nazi salute or something. I don't know.
No, that's Hennessy. Oh, no, you said, oh, no.
Yeah.
Let me just move on quickly. You know what? I think him and Pickford are, vying for,
Mate.
worst goalkeeping error of the season. Do you know what I mean?
At Cop End,
Liverpool
yeah.
fans.
Maybe it's maybe it was the pressure from behind the goal because the cop is like whoa. Do you know what I mean? It's the
Something
cop.
normally stuff like that would hit the hand and hit the bar, or go over, or go
Yeah.
to the defender. But it's all happening in the right reasons for us. You know what I mean?
We got a lot of luck in that 190 minutes, though. A lot of luck.
Whoa.
Robertson.
That's what I was about to
The
say.
Robertson handball
That
was
That was the
brilliant.
moment of the game.
That was
the moment of the game.
That's showing us a bit of luck.
Did he flick that ball on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he did.
Reactions.
Like, if you watch it properly and rewind it, it was perfect. Blindside of everybody that they had to zoom in on it on Match of the Day for us to even notice it. And it was perfect because it put it in his line of play to play it down to Mane, for Mane to get into the box.
Yeah.
And to score.
Great finish from Mane, by
Great
the
finish.
way.
I'm showing my age here, but the last time I saw someone flick it from like that on his left and go forward is Clive Drexler. Do you remember?
What?
Clive Drexler.
Yeah, that's
Remember him?
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Who?
You don't know Clive Drexler?
I need to get on Google,
Paul,
mate.
can you educate us? Like,
Please, yeah.
Old
Please.
school basketball player.
basketball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah, Paul.
Wow.
Big you up, man.
Yeah, man,
On the
seriously.
drive home, you can
I thought you were a
educate me if
basketball
like,
fan.
Ah, mate, straight football, man. Straight football.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. There's only one ball game
Viewers
for
can
me.
comment.
Yeah.
Viewers can educate the man that Clive Drexler.
Hey,
is.
listen, people. If you know who Paul's talking about, get
Clive
us.
Drexler.
Get us on
Where's the
the
camera?
get us on the
Clive
YouTube, mate. Tweet us. You know what I mean, or send us a message on Instagram.
I had a video when I was a kid. It was called "Slamming Dunks and Basketball Bloopers." It was sick. Wow. Yeah, VHS.
Wow.
Anyone remembers that?
Not
Bring it
BMX, no?
Nah.
I remember those ones there, though. BMX. Yeah, we're talking real old school there.
Hey,
but
listen,
it's
if
all
you
good.
know who Paul is talking about, please, yeah, on Twitter at South Anfield, yeah, on Instagram, yeah, and Anfield_South1, get us and let us know who Paul is talking about.
Clive Drexler.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. So you say the third goal was a key moment. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, probably that mistake, because at that point Anfield did go a little bit flat. We could see him from a corner, which was just like it was random, it was rare. We don't really set plays. I never really worry about them because I know that Virgil's organising. And at one moment where he wasn't in charge and he just had a little tug, I don't think he was aggressive enough to get back at the ball.
Yeah,
but I was in shock. And then Anfield was a bit flat, so to score so quickly after that and the manner of scoring as well, you kind of know that it should really be your day. When the keeper's doing that kind of madness, you know.
Shaqiri was quiet, wasn't he? We look back at it.
Yeah, he didn't have much of an impact.
He didn't
in the
create
game,
much in that game. That's the first time I think he started at Anfield where I can say, you know, what was he offering? You know, he doesn't obviously he doesn't go down on his right side. Do you know what I mean? He wants to come inside and play with people.
but you know, hold that thought on Shaqiri because we'll come back to Shaqiri. So okay, quickly, man of the match against Palace.
Do you know what? I'm going to be a bit random here, but I'm going to go for the giraffe, man. Man like Matip. I thought that he was excellent. Coming back in, his first game back after being out for, what, a good 6 weeks?
Yeah.
He was composed and he plays his role really well, and he knows he's fourth choice. Yeah, but he comes in and he looked confident. He looked like he hadn't been away. And on a day when Van Dijk wasn't his imperious best and wasn't really controlling everything, I thought, I won't call him a leader, but I thought he played his role really well.
Yeah.
And despite conceding 3 goals, I thought Matip was excellent. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
JR?
Matip or Robertson for me. Like Sam said, you know, Matip's calming influence. He's been out a while, but he just slotted straight back in and, you know, helped Van Dijk out as well. And Robertson, you know, he just always goes to the you know how he goes, the handball, alleged handball. I never saw nothing. And, you know, he just keeps
Need the
going.
fifth.
It's always the option for 90 minutes, keeping his width. So Alisson threw it out to him, you know, and just broke where other defenders would just keep it, pass it back, you know, try and run on the clock. He's just always gun ho. So one of those two, I'd say.
What about yourself?
I'll say Robertson, and I think it was nice to see Robertson and Mane is a strong side for us, and I think it's nice and positive for that to be resulted in a goal.
Yeah.
Because they need to be assisting. I think Robertson needs to come a bit past Mane sometimes and get a shot off. Mane can assist him as well. So yeah, I'll say Robertson as well. That handball was sick.
What was his name again? No, sorry.
The alleged handball, yeah? The alleged handball. Let's leave it at that.
Play to the whistle, innit?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's what we teach the kids.
You know, one more thing, actually, yeah. He actually saw the ball and knocked it to keep it on. Like
It was brilliant. You don't understand the
this is a
intelligence,
different
in-game
mindset,
intelligence.
No,
Do you know what you mentioned?
the
You
speed of
mentioned
thought, the speed of thought he had to
Gamesmanship.
have. Do you know what I mean?
This is it.
Gamesmanship.
Remember you mentioned a couple of weeks ago about us taking our time, pulling our shin pads up, and just taking the sting out of the game certain times. And like when we're actually cheating, I'm like, rah, this is good. It's because we haven't got that.
That normally
devil
happens to
about
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah,
You
we
know
haven't
what
got
I'm
that
saying?
devil about us. So if Robinson can do that,
And
I
I'm
hope it
surprised
spreads.
how fine I am about it.
Yeah, but when it's your team, you usually are in it. It's when it goes against you, then you have a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Klopp did say like when he first came, he wanted us to like grow and be more mature in games and relaxed. Not relaxed, but just be more calm in games. You know what I mean? And manage the games a lot better. And I think like he said a few weeks ago, you know, that was the most mature performance at Brighton, and we're just managing games a lot better than we did before. You know, so yeah, big up.
No, man, it's all good, man.
all good.
So, boys, I want to talk about one player who's slightly turning into a myth. But let's just call it. He's slightly turning into a myth. But let's have a discussion about Naby Keita because
Let me take a sip.
in that
Where's Chris?
because in that game he didn't have his best game in a Liverpool shirt against Palace. You know, my question is, what is it with Naby? Anyone?
Do you know what? I think, from my point of view, it's just one of two things at the moment. He hasn't got a place in the team. You know, he doesn't know where his spot is in the team. And because of that, his confidence has continually suffered. You put that together with the niggle injuries he's had and the lack of run of games, you're seeing a player that has flashes of like, wow, this guy's got talent. And then he can't control the ball and he can't play a simple pass. He's also trying too hard. Yeah, and I kind of feel like there was a lot of expectation put on him, not so much by the fans, but by himself. He's taken that shirt. Yeah, he come up with that turn against Palace in that first game, and we were like, "Oh, this guy,
drooling,
salivating." You know what I mean? We was like, if only
Yeah.
Salah finished that. That's, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, he's got these little nicks, these little injuries, and for me, his confidence is really suffering.
Yeah.
I don't know what his position is in the midfield. Yeah, what his favoured position is, and I'm not sure that Klopp knows either, because he's playing all over the midfield. I've even seen him playing in the front three as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, where is he supposed to be? He's a ball-carrying midfielder that's supposed to be creative. Yeah. So where is his position in the team?
So do you think he's suffering in the formation that we're playing in the 4-2-3-1? Is he suffering?
That's bang on. I mean, not say they're suffering, but when you ask what's his best position, and we're waiting for him to explode. I mean, go back to what you said about the shirt. We don't know if he asked for the shirt. I'll be interested to know if he asked for the number 8 shirt or not.
Yeah, or if he was
I hope he
giving
did.
it. Yeah.
I hope it wasn't like, this is yours. He's like, oh, great. And he put it on, it's like an iron fucking shirt. The weight is
Weighing man down.
too much.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It was all a big thing though. Gerrard come and presenting it to him. I think
Wait, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Before he went Rangers, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, he presented it to him and they done a big expert.
Wow.
That's good,
I
though,
missed
isn't it?
that.
Because he's obviously
he's
talented.
Not going to take that whole acclaim and say, well, I don't really want it. Like, he obviously accepted that. You know?
You can't turn it down.
Yeah,
Well-
you could. You could. If you didn't think
Not
you
for
were
that
up
money,
to
you
it.
can't.
Yeah, but then if you
But
don't
that
think you're up
position-
to it,
Yeah, it's true.
no one will think they're not up to it.
You're saying what is his position?
Oh, yeah,
His
let's go
position,
back to
isn't he? He's an attacking midfielder, right?
Yeah,
so
so-
he needs to play centrally. So
course.
in a 4-2-3-1, I don't think that's playing. I think the 3's too high up for him, personally speaking. The 2 is obviously too deep for him. Left or right of the
Too
3.
deep for him. You know why? Because I think at the moment, and if I was putting my mind in Klopp's, right, I'll be a bit nervous him playing in the 2 because I think he's giving the ball away a lot. And at the moment, we're going for the league, and we don't want. We're kind of playing, especially in the midfield. It's like
Right.
low risk.
The 2's too deep for him. You're right.
Yeah.
The 2's too deep for him. Yeah. So
He's a 4-3-3.
So he's
guy.
a 4-3-3 guy.
But we're best
in
at
the middle.
4-2-3-1,
Exactly. He's in the middle of a 3. He's got protection behind him. He can do what he does. But like you said, our best formation,
Hold
we
the
all
bench.
feel, is
So let's hold
4-2-3-1.
the bench.
Yeah.
I think the game for me where I saw him and I was like, what's going on here? Is the Wolves when we won 2-0 away in the league before Christmas. I saw him just trying to run with the ball, run forward, and I thought he was quicker than that. To be fair, he was trying to sprint, and you can see he's putting he's all into it, and he's not going anywhere. I was like, rah, that I just don't think he's up to speed yet in the Premiership. The speed of the Premiership for
And
me personally.
and physical.
The physical, I don't think, because that game he was going down all the time. I was like, bro, you're wearing number 8. You got to come better than that. So I think he just needs
I don't want
time.
to call him a fake African, but he looks weak, man. And I don't like it, man.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, he needs to eat a bit more hard food. To be fair, I think
Some yams.
some hard
Yeah,
yams.
some
Him
planting.
to be bouncing people off, but
You know what? Let's look at it like this then. Let's compare and contrast, right? Kante must be smaller than him. He must be. He must be maybe a couple centimeters shorter and a few pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And he's got any muscles. has he?
You don't see.
Naby's ripped,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
He's like everywhere. Like he's ripped.
But you know, it's not about
It's the
muscles.
it's the mental.
I think I think for me, he seems a bit mentally weak at present.
At present.
At present, because
has a lot to do with
he's
his
going
confidence
down.
as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. He's going down injured a lot. If you think how many games he's come off, like Napoli, he came off back injury. Then Saturday he's playing. Like.
Yeah.
You know,
Play through it,
play through it, and he's going down injured quite a lot.
Doesn't he remind you of like your youths when they were younger? And this is not a dub. I'm just like, because we're football fans. When your kid's injured when he's young and he just doesn't want to get up again because maybe they're losing or it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they have a little chat and then you know, touch him then on the back and
then
like you'll be all right. And then he's back on
they're
again.
back on the pitch,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
He
he's
might-
done
he might
that.
need to cuddle.
The Napoli game. Well, countless other games. He's going down. And another thing, like I've said it on WhatsApp a few times when we're watching, and obviously we're frustrated when we're watching it. He's hiding for me. Like you playing between the lines. When he plays on the left or that 4-2-3-1, all Klopp's telling him to do is Naby, it'd be cool, yeah, if you go on the ball between the lines and drive.
Was that your Klopp impression?
That's my Klopp impression. It's good, yeah. Go in between the lines. Simple. You know what I mean? Don't worry about tracking back and don't worry about hugging the touchline. You're a centre midfielder, but do a job for me, right? He's hiding. You can watch it on the TV. This is something our viewers should know. We're going to start getting on it one day and like do some tactical analysis or whatever and freeze it. He's standing behind this microphone, and like, fucking Fabinho's there.
Yeah.
How are you going to fight? He's not moving.
That's basics, though, man.
Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be found.
Well, like you've all said, mate, it's his mentality at the moment. Obviously, is a bit weak, and obviously his morale suffered a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So,
is there a massive underlying problem, or does he need one big performance?
I think,
to catapult him into thinking, okay, I'm a Liverpool player now.
The first game against West Ham, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Got the ball, but he was deeper though, breaking up play, driving forward, making goals. The first half, I was like, right, we got a player. Even on commentary, there was. Like,
yeah, they were raving about
he laid that
raving.
ball to Robinson to
raving about him. And then the Palace game, another good game. But I think I'm going to give him till next season because I think he's still got to toughen up a bit and learn the game because in a deeper role, he will give away the ball in the bad positions and get us, in trouble. So I'm going to give him till next season.
What about? I mean, it's not Klopp's role in this. Klopp at the moment is on fire, but so he had the Burnley game. When the ball came deep and he controlled it, controlled it on his thigh and then drove centrally to the left and hit it with his left fucking foot.
Yeah, that was a great
right?
strike. Yeah.
Then save. He went to Bournemouth. That was the next game, wasn't it? And he played about an hour and we won 4-0. Was it Bournemouth next? So around that time anyway.
Yeah.
And he was good again. He was quiet, but no, he had the double nutmeg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, against Bournemouth it was.
I'm watching on my laptop streaming it. I'm
Yeah.
like fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
Double nutmeg. And then he's controlled it on his head. And he's doing that, and he's. Do you know what I mean? And then the next game, I think he wasn't even in the squad or he was on the bench. And then,
So
then
do you-
he was.
do you-
What, you think he's been mismanaged slightly?
Well,
There
no,
you
maybe it was unfortunate there. Because other boys have been able to come in dipping in that. Look at Shaqiri.
Yeah.
He's like fucking infantry. Like he's like
No, but Shaqiri came knowing that he wasn't going to be a starter.
doesn't matter.
So
Still gonna have the mentality.
I think his mentality was, I'm going to take my chance when it comes. Whereas Naby probably thought, I'm coming to play. I'm coming to be a starter, and I should get a run of games. And when he's not, and he's coming on as a sub, and he's getting yanked a lot, he's getting pulled a lot. It's affected his confidence, and you can see that in how he plays.
Our best 11, does that feature with Naby?
No
in it?
way.
Not right now.
Not on form, no.
Not on form.
But
I'm not even talking about him on form. I'm talking about just on paper.
In theory.
on paper, the dream is Ox, Naby, Fabinho.
Oh, mate.
But on
that's
paper,
it.
that means we're changing the formation.
Well, we need to be able to switch between the two according to who we're playing. To be fair, so but on paper it's them three in midfield.
No Henderson, no.
Henderson played well against Palace, I thought he was decent against Palace.
Yeah, got Milner.
Do you know what I mean? That pass to Milner was obviously suspect, but Milner's decision to keep going for it when the ball's going backwards was ridiculous.
Do you
Let's not
think
go back into that.
let's
I
not-
think,
yeah,
I
let's-
think
let's not
Henderson played
regress.
decent that game.
Very well. Like I said,
I only said that because we started laughing at when we had his name.
But you know
like I
what?
said-
It's like he had a decent game, and we feel like we overpraise him for that. It's almost like what we used to do with
Okay,
Winnie.
I forget it.
When Winnie had a decent game, we're like, "Rah, did you see that pass
Yeah,
from Winnie?"
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? We should be expecting decent games all the time from
Yeah.
from
You
him.
You skip.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the armband, but
Minimum 7.5, 8 out of 10 most games. But,
but let's not go into that. Let's not go into the Hendo thing right now. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So Naby's still got a way to go. I think the general consensus is he's still got a way to go, but we're willing to give him the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I would give him. He's got a 4-year contract. It's fine. I mean, he's obviously talented. He is a small chap. You know what I mean? And he's not Kante. In that sort of mentality of aggression and thinking first, because he is a creator. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna have to get used to getting bumped about and just get on with it. I don't care if it takes 2 seasons. Like we've got enough players, I think.
The pressure's not on him as it would have been back in the day when we signed that one player. And our squads, everyone will be on him. I think Klopp will give him time. The fans like myself and hopefully you guys will give him, next season to really see his true colours.
Yeah, no, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Yeah, I give him the time. Look, do you know what? I said it last podcast, and I'll say it again. In Klopp, I trust. So if Klopp trusts a player, I trust him too. Simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Simple
you
for
can't,
me.
you can't critique
You know what I mean?
Klopp at the moment.
Okay, so we've been discussing about the formation a lot in so far. Yeah, should we stick to the 4-2-3-1 and play Shaqiri from the get-go moving forward?
this is all you, Paul.
Yeah, well, I would say.
We know how you feel about this
As soon as
formation.
that boy put that fucking overhead kick in against United in the friendly, I started thinking, how are we going to get him in a team? Do you know what I mean? Because I knew he's not going to displace the front three, and I knew he's not a centre midfielder. You can't play as Shaqiri really. He's not David Silva in a 4-3-3. So I was thinking 4-2-3-1, and he's done it against was it Southampton?
That
And
was the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just yanked him off at half time.
Dragged him.
It was just like,
Dragged him.
That was cold. That was
no
cold.
one knew what he did. He was like, no more. You can't see no more.
Here's a question for you, JR. Do you think Shaqiri in a 4-2-3-1 playing from the right could almost emulate what Salah used to do when he used to play out on the right?
He's a different. Nah, I don't. Salah's more like in behind. Like Shaqiri's more into feet, where Salah's.
That's
more,
why I said emulate. I know he's not going to necessarily hit Salah's numbers, but could he be as dangerous as Salah was?
And I think it depends, like who's behind him feeding him balls. I think from that position he'd be more of a provider than he would be. Then when Salah played there, he's more of a scorer. I think if Shaqiri played from that position, I think he'd be more of a provider. I think he played that position. I think it was against Cardiff when he cut in and he scored the third or fourth goal.
Yeah.
I think he was on that position and he cut in. So I think he would be more of a provider than a scorer from that position.
Fair
personally.
enough.
I agree.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's all good. I mean, at the moment, if Keita plays, then he's playing Mane from the right, isn't he?
Yeah.
But whoever, regardless, as we were going through the season and we were having like meltdowns when, we played Red Star away and we played PSG away. At that time, I was right, and I was like, we've won every single game playing 4-2-3-1. Why are we changing it? And to this point, we've still we've won every game. That's remarkable, isn't it? We're halfway through the season, and we've played it now probably 75% of the time.
You have been a stiff advocate for 4-2-3-1, Paul. You've been like staunch in
What
your.
did Michael Dapper say? Statistics.
Yeah.
He can't beat every game.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, do you know what? I would like to see Shaq get a solid run in the team from the start.
Here's one for you, host. Yeah, but then has he been as effective or from the start? We've still won games.
That is a good question.
We keep the balance, but he hasn't been a total star.
Yeah, I think so far this season he's been a bigger impact off the bench. He has been a bigger impact off the bench, and that's the reason why you want to see him in the starting lineup, because the guy comes off the bench and you think, wow, he's great. He's done this, whatever he's done. Start him next week. I mean, because that's all, ultimately when you come off the bench, that's your aim, isn't it? To put in a good performance and then have a run of games. But it is looking like he's a super sub, and I'm here for super subs as well, because you need something off the bench. Liverpool for a long time have not had someone off the bench that can change the game. If you look like you
Ronnie
got
Rosenthal.
Jesus.
Well, how old are you again?
Paul, man.
I remember Rosenthal.
So do I, but allow it, man. Dust off your brain.
He was bought like in March.
Won us the league.
Hey, stop. Anyway, look now, we've got people like Shaqiri to come off the bench, even Daniel Sturridge to come off the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Are we going to talk
listen.
No, but I know what you mean.
I understand what
Sturridge.
Sturridge
Question for you though, bruv. Do you not feel like it's better to have him as a weapon on the bench as opposed to starting? From what we've seen this season.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where I was going with what I was saying. So as much as I'm asking the question if he should start in a 4-2-3-1, I feel he's better off coming from the bench. I think it keeps him hungry, and it keeps him. That's what makes him produce the magic.
Here's my answer. Yeah, he may not be getting the headlines when he's starting, but I've always said, especially like when you play Sunday League, you only win a game when 11 men put in a shift.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if he's not being the star, but he's still part of that equation I'm talking about, that we win every single game,
then he's doing
he
something.
Must be doing something.
Yeah, he's doing something. I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, I fully agree. Oh, boys.
It's looking good.
It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. What are we? We're nearly coming to the end of the transfer window, end of January. There's been no activity from us.
Anyone, are we, Jay?
There's been no activity so far, so I doubt there's going to be any signings from us. But there's been a few rumblings about a certain player coming back, and I think we touched on it a little bit on the last episode, but I'm going to ask again. I don't think it's going to happen personally, but if it was a possibility, would you take Coutinho back? Nah, come on, Sam. I'll let you run with this one.
Now, this window.
Yeah, this window.
See, me and Ryan fell out about this the other day. Yeah, because
Big up Ryan.
Yeah, big up Ryan. When you
Peace,
coming, man?
Ryan.
When you coming?
Yeah, where are you, man? Where are you?
But anyway, at the time, I was of the mind that the chemistry in the team is right. Yeah. Although we've got stars, we haven't got one premium star that's basically running the team. We're a collective. And I feel like throwing someone like Coutinho in that will almost upset the balance because you know he's going to start pretty much every game. He's not getting rotated.
Yeah.
He's not getting rotated. But then you think the other side of the coin, you think if you could have that quality among the squad, you would take it, wouldn't you? And just as a little lift, a bit of a push towards the end of the season, you would take it. If he was offered to us, we'd be stupid to say no. For a loan, we'd be stupid to say no. I'm not going to say I think we should go and get him, but we probably got first refusal when it comes to him being sold or let out on loan. I'm kind of happy that it's unlikely to happen because I don't really want to see the team balance messed up with that. But damn, if we had Coutinho in this team,
Yeah, we'd be.
So-
I don't even want to think about who we'd drop.
Yeah.
But you know what we'd have? We'd have a mismatch of balance in terms of the defensive stability. Because you put him in the team with the front three, yeah, that's last season, beginning of the season, when we were beating everyone and playing amazing football, but we were conceding for fun.
It's true.
Yeah, and I don't think...
No, I started off thinking but after saying he'd play in the Naby Keita.
Yeah, from the left.
He'd play on the left.
Yeah,
and
he'd
Mane
play
up on
from
the
the
right.
left.
Because you can still tell Klopp still sees Shaqiri as he's not in the first 11.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Even though he's worked his way into it, and I think he's impressed by that. I think if he was offered, Klopp would take him and put him on the left.
Would you take him, JR?
Come on, for me, it's a no-brainer. Definitely bring him back in, but I don't know if I'd guarantee him game like at present how it was before. He was always going to play. I think I would rotate him for the rest of the season just to keep the balance and keep how it's been, because remember we got Ox to come back. Ox will be coming back soon, so and from when Coutinho left, that was like the emergence of Ox for me. So I don't
Unless
know.
he played, otherwise he'd have to play that formation he did last year, where it's like a 4-3-3, and then he was at number 8, slightly off the left, pushing forward.
It'd be a tough one, wouldn't it? It'd be a tough one.
I reckon Klopp would take him.
Yeah. I
Klopp would take him, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would. If Klopp got him,
I'm not sure if I
I'm happy
would.
either way. To be fair, if we don't get him, it's going to not go to Man United.
Well, there's a flip side to my question because there has been slight rumours that Chelsea are interested in Coutinho. Like,
That'd be unbearable, man.
so that's exactly. You answered the question before I even asked it. Like, how would we feel if we saw him in a Chelsea
I
shirt?
don't think.
Do you know what?
Like, how would he feel? Then you could ask any question. I'm just saying that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but we're
because-
just discussing it, man. I mean, to even consider that, for me to see him in that kit, no.
So are you saying
Torres
that,
did it.
Are you saying that we
That was
should?
pain. That hurt, though.
Yeah, but
Torres did, and
Torres
that
was a
hurt.
mercenary
You
at
know
the
what?
time.
And you're exactly what you said, Jai. Exactly how I was feeling, bro. That was painful. That was absolutely painful to see him go
No,
to
but what are you
Chelsea.
saying, Slim? You're saying that because these Chelsea rumours are decent rumours, aren't they? Like they're like 20% or whatever they are. Are you saying that we should be going for him because there's rivals going for him?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, how would we feel if he
feel
ended up
fucking
at
shit.
how we? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because, like, we're discussing whether we'd have him back at Liverpool. If we didn't have him back, imagine we offered him first, and we said no, and then he went to Chelsea. Like,
I'd hate it because I know it theoretically hasn't worked out Barca, so he's got a second chance, and that second chance could hurt us. That's why I'd hate it. I wouldn't really be like, what have you done? Because our rivalry is like very recent Champions League stuff. He's not involved in that. You know what I mean? I don't think Gerrard was telling them we hate Chelsea. Like he told them like we hate United or you need to beat Everton because the guys who work in the city are gonna have it on Monday morning. You know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not the same thing. So it would suck, but it's not the same.
It's not devilled. I think if he went there, I wouldn't be devilled like how it was for when Torres.
I wouldn't
went.
feel betrayed, but I would be pissed off knowing that they've got a good player and he would do well there.
But Torres was direct.
Yeah,
there was no
yeah.
in between, and that
Yeah, I
was
think,
was
yeah.
different level of pain. I mean, if he's gone away, he's tried it at the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. It hasn't worked out, and he's come back. Okay, fair enough. I'm just grateful the window's almost done, and it's not going to happen. I hope, please God.
I don't think it will.
Nah.
I think with players like that, you got to look at the families as well. Like Brazilian, the culture that they are. Coming back to cold England, the family have a lot to say. And I don't think what I've heard about like Coutinho, the family over there, is in with the Suarez's, and you know they do a lot of things together. So I don't know. Just a lifestyle. I don't think right now in January it's not going to happen.
Coutinho's one of the highest scoring Brazilians in Premier League history. He's another guy who was not very big. Do you know what I mean? He didn't know language when he came to this country. He worked for it. He was fucking, call it what you want, arrogant, strong-willed enough to push a move through to Barcelona. He's not going to give up after 6 months in the sun.
To be fair, they're not going to give up on him that quickly after spending that money.
Either. Do you know what I mean? He's there.
Well, we did so good at we did so well out of that deal, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did so well out of that deal.
Van Dijk and Alisson for Coutinho.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. You wouldn't change it for the world, would you? No. Yeah, it's crazy. And you know what? I wish Phil all the best, and I hope it works out for him at Barca. I know he's getting a bit of stick from the fans, but I hope it works out for him. But if he is going to leave Barca, stay away from the Premiership, man. That's all I say. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, you touched on it in that when we were talking about Coutinho, about Ox coming back. So we've seen videos of him out on the training pitch, kicking a ball, like fully kicking a ball.
It's terrific.
Man, he looked sharp. Did you see the one when he was going? Player. There was like 4 people throwing balls.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the video I was talking about.
That drill was nuts, you know.
But he looked sharp.
Yeah. He looked good.
He looked very good.
The one before when he's in the gym, smacking the ball against the wall on his thigh, smacking it again.
That was good. But the second one where he's doing the drill with the 4 balls is amazing. Yeah. So my question is with Ox obviously getting back to match fitness, should he figure before the season's out?
100%.
He's going to play anyway.
He's training with the first team now.
Yeah.
So the last report I read is that he's going to be available for the last 10 games of the season. If he has no setbacks, the last 10 games.
How many games do you need for a medal? 5. I know I'm being presumptuous. It's 5.
5 is it?
It's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it used to be more than that. Do you know why? Because just to skip forward a bit, if we do go ahead and win the league, I think it would be a crime for him not to get a medal. I think it would be an absolute crime.
Klopp's such a humane guy in that respect. If we're going that way, he will look at Ox and he'll be like, he was part of this development, part of this team. And so he will give him the apperances. Even if they're 5-minute sub appearances, he'll make it happen.
Precisely that.
He's no Pep. You know what Pep did to Foden last season? You know what I mean?
That was cold.
That was cold.
Foden needed one appearance to win a medal.
And they were winning the last game 4-0 or something.
Left him out.
Left him on the bench.
Left him
rotting there.
That is.
Pepper's a nice guy, it's a myth. You know that?
Yeah?
Yeah,
it's a myth.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, bun Man City, yeah? Anfield South this, yeah? You know what I'm saying? But... yeah, so you'd stick him in 100%. Yeah. So then obviously, okay, cool. So if you stick him in, my next question is, JR, who gets dropped?
I wouldn't start him.
Wouldn't you?
No, I'd drip feed him.
They'd have to anyway. I mean,
I wouldn't. He wouldn't start for me till like end of April. I'll drip feed unless there's like a crisis and we needed someone in there. But I'll drip feed him 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, then just build him for like the last 3, 4, 5 games where he could potentially come into the team and drive us forward. For the wins.
JR makes a good point. In fact, I think maybe I was a bit like, a bit of bravado that he's going to play. Actually, yeah, because obviously every game counts. So we've got a squad. You've got people like Henderson, Fabinho, Keita, Wijnaldum kind of rotating, at least the first 3 I mentioned. So it may not be easy for him just to. He might not be able to get in the squad, I guess. Do you know what I mean? If we're fully fit, but if there's a crisis, like JR said, or we're winning games, like you said, and you can get 5-10 minutes there. But also, we know what Klopp's like. Everything's about process, everything about training. So if he's smashing it and he's fit, you might just see him start a game. Klopp's pragmatic guy. I said this before, like when we were talking about Van Dijk, 75 mil, and Klopp will buy a player for 50 pence if he thought he was dope enough. Yeah. And I reckon, and I know he's got the morals and stuff, but I reckon he would spend 200 mil on the player if he had the money. I don't think he's that type of person. I think he's just pragmatic.
I don't think he's a pragmatist. I don't think he sees money when he sees a player. No. I just think he sees the potential. And what he can be and what he could make that player into. So as long as the board are backing him, I fully agree with you. He'd spend whatever the price tag, whether it be high or low. Yeah,
and he waits for his player.
Yeah.
He won't rush. That's who I want. I'm waiting for you. You know what I'm saying?
Remember our meltdown with Van Dijk?
Oh, man.
We're like, okay, let's buy someone else. You've been caught on a roller coaster. Let's get someone else.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
So, yeah, I think he waits for that right player. He won't rush. He knows he wants.
We love you, Klopp. We love you.
Chris. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris.
And also Ox is in going to be included in the Champions League squad as well.
Is he?
Yeah,
is
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna-
so that shows you that he's gonna play.
So he's
Klopp
I-
said,
that-
he said he's out today, smiling, and he goes, yeah, he looks like he could play tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Because he's healed.
yeah.
It's all about match fitness and build up a bit more. Does he even have to build it?
I think that's probably done.
That's probably done.
It's just to see if there's any like reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, to movements, certain movements. Yeah, that's
build
It's
it
going to
up.
be impact injuries as well. He's going to get muscle injuries.
And he always gets that,
It's
doesn't
gonna
he?
Always when you're
happen.
out, a hammy
When
or
you're
calf will
out,
go.
Yeah, so like you said, to drip feed him is going to be perfect. But you're right as well, Paul. He probably will start a random game. We're like, rah. He's starting like he played only 5 minutes last week.
yeah.
It could
A
have
home
happened.
game against someone maybe mid-table. You know, we've beaten every team outside the top 6 this season.
Yeah, so
Beaten
far
them.
because we paid them. Yeah, we paid half everyone. Yeah. Do you know what?
Fun fact.
Do you know? I didn't. Yeah, I'm here for that, but I'm not at the same time because I'm just like, there's still half of the season to go, man. Like, I'm still very cautious. Like, a lot of people keep asking me, like, do you think you're gonna do it? Do you think you're gonna... Even today, I had a Chelsea fan say to me, like, do you think you're gonna win it? And I said, you know what? I'm just taking it one game at a time because City are going to be hard to stop. And it's mad because when I said that, I said, but wait, we're 4 points ahead of City. What do you mean stop? But it's true. Even though they're behind us, they're still a force to be reckoned with. And we're going to have to work our bloody socks off to keep them at bay. It's
I've
not a
got 2 or
foregone
3
conclusion.
friends, who know a bit about football and not Liverpool supporters and knew about Naby Keita. And at the beginning of the season, you know when you think people are trying to gas you up, they were like, Liverpool going to win league this season, I reckon.
Serious?
Yeah, because Keita's sick and your squad's sick and like, blah, blah, blah. And watch Liverpool. I was like, second. I'll be happy for second. You know what I mean? City are unbelievable. He goes, no, I think Pep wants to get Champions League because there's a lot of geeks out there who are following everything. And the narrative is that they've really got their eye on that Champions League. And we'll take anything. It's not a slight against us if they're taking an eye off the ball. They spend 50 million quid on fullbacks. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
Do you know what? You make a good point there, Paul. The fact that they're still in the Champions League. Obviously, they're in the Carling Cup final, they're in the FA Cup. Next month, they're in 4 competitions. You know, we're in 2 and we've got less games. It's gonna have an impact.
and they've just had that nice break in Dubai. I almost felt like I was there with the lads. I was happy for them.
Yeah, no, I was happy. I think it's deserved.
Yeah.
I think it's deserved, and I think it bit of morale. Do you know what I mean? A bit of bonding.
Let the sun heal their injuries and shit.
Yeah, it's good for them. It's good for them being out there. All right, boys. Moving on. Mohamed Salah. Well,
Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed
Salah.
As we record, what's the date today? The 25th, right?
25th, yeah.
As we record on the 25th, he's now back on social media. But
How is he now?
yeah, he's back on Instagram. I've seen him back on Instagram. I don't know if he left Instagram, but Dejan Lovren did say welcome back to the fake world. So he's back on social media, but he did leave social media.
What was that about then?
This is what I wanted to discuss with you. As far as I was concerned, it was because he wanted to concentrate on his football. But obviously seeing him back today, I was a bit like, what's that about? So what was the confusion? Like,
So is that definite that he wanted to concentrate on his football?
well, this is
That
what
was
the
the
rumours
assumption.
were.
We don't
This was
know.
the assumption.
Yeah.
This was the assumption.
Because it was like was it bye or?
This is but my question to you is, did he take a little hiatus from Twitter because of the diving allegations? Do you think the abuse got a bit much for him?
I think so. I think, like these players, they do watch their feeds. They're in their feeds looking at comments. And I think the last couple of weeks, his scrutiny on him for allegedly going down. I think the Palace one, got a bit windy that day.
It looked like he was playing. What's the one when at the end we all sit down?
Ring of roses.
Yeah, that one there. That one
like
there,
that,
he was out of sync there for that one, and I think he probably got a lot of abuse. He was, and they do. The players they all watch their social feeds and their timelines, and I think he might have felt, let me just come off it, let me get the heat off me, and let me just focus on my football. But you're saying that he's back on Instagram, so we'll have
Can't
to
live
see.
without it. Probably.
You know what? Social media is a big part of the modern day footballer, and I think we all like footballers because they're accessible on social media and we can get a little window into their daily lives. And I think for a footballer of Salah's stature to come off social media. I think that's a big thing. I mean, brands might have looked at that and thought, whoa, hold on a minute.
Hold it down.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like for back home in Egypt, he's massive. So all the people that are following me on there back home, for him to to shut it down.
Yeah. They're probably like DMing Lovren. Please tell Mohammed to send a message.
Yeah, proper.
Knowing how it goes in Egypt, they probably turned up to Salah's family home, you know what I mean? And said, oi, you better speak to your boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so what JR said about them checking out their feeds and stuff, we talked about that before. And someone mentioned it before about how fans and stuff are really knowledgeable and they influence stuff because but stuff about Henderson, we were saying pass it forward. He reads that.
Yeah.
And he has made a
100%.
An increase in his output of forward balls, isn't he?
Yeah, it'd be hard not to, wouldn't it, really? Do you know what I mean? Like, even this, Anfield South, like, any comments that have been put on our posts, I'm straight in, like, having a look and seeing what they're saying. So it'd be hard not to as a footballer, and it must affect you as well slightly.
What do you think? Do you think he was hurt then, or do you think he was annoyed?
Do you know what? It's almost like a throwback to the beginning of the season when he was proper moody because everyone was saying he was a one-season wonder. He wasn't scoring. Obviously, he didn't come on social media then, but that was more. It was negative connotations about him as a footballer, and this time it's more a media storm. In that every show is talking about it. Sunday Supplement's talking about it. Match of the Day is talking about it. Talk Sport's talking about it. And they're making it bigger than it is. I mean, let's be fair. The penalties that he's won, only one of them he actually... In fact, it's just the Palace game that was actually a dive.
And he didn't get the penalty.
But I think that whole thing with Sacco standing over him... you know what I
That
mean?
hair took him over.
It was windy, the Palace game. Very windy.
Yeah, hey, listen, shit happens. Just, but I think... that the Palace players made it worse. By doing that to him, it's like, oh, it's you again. Yeah. You're diving. And all of a sudden, there wasn't actually much focus on his performance on Match of the Day. They said, he scored a couple of goals. And then straight away, they're talking about, oh, Mohamed Salah's got to be a bit careful, hasn't he? I'm like...
They didn't really go in on him, though. They kind of touched it.
But Sunday Supplement was, they were on him hard.
I think Zaha's had rougher treatment. That's what I was saying on the WhatsApp group. I was saying that, just hold it down. I mean, he's always going to go beyond a defender anyway, and they're going to give him a little nudge in the back, and that's when you can just take a little tumble. But don't push it because the referees get their backs up.
Do you know, you're right about that, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, Vardy had a crazy dive.
Yeah.
Crazy dive. It was also Korean.
It was mad.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
And
it was like you put your leg out from where you're sitting, Paul, and I just go, ah! It was nuts. Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, it was
and there
nuts.
was hardly any media at all.
No, do you know what? No, do you know what? To be fair, I first heard about it on TalkSport. TalkSport did talk about it quite a bit, and that's when I went and I looked and I watched it. But
you're right.
But the narrative is nowhere near as much as Salah. And to be fair, Vardy's got form for it. He's done it over the years.
Yeah.
But I think, do you know what? We spoke about Robertson's handball. I think all players cheat. In that position, if you can win your team a penalty, you're going to try it. Do you see what I mean? No matter whether you're top of the league, middle or bottom of the league. I think all players do it. It's just, for me, it's part and parcel of the game. Some people might not agree with it, some people might not like it, but it's part and parcel of the game. It sounds mad, but if you can con the ref and get a penalty, you're going to take it because it's basically like a free goal, basically. It's shot from 12 yards out. You should score. So it's like a free goal. So they're going to do it. I don't think it's something we'll ever eradicate out of players and out of the game. Even retrospective banning, I don't personally think is going to work.
I agree with you totally, but I just don't want him to become
the
Suarez.
reputation.
I don't want him to become Sterling. Them guys that are getting clear pens and not getting the decision.
Talking about Sterling, did you hear Man City compiled a dossier of penalties that Sterling should have got? And
Huddersfield, they were saying that
that one was...
No, he had it there. I didn't see it, but I heard it was a blatant penalty and he didn't get it.
It can't be worse than the one I saw him do. He was playing against maybe Tottenham. He's running forward and someone just went up to him and just pushed him in the back. And he flew forward and he got nothing.
Well, there you go. That's the one thing you don't want to happen to Salah. Have that reputation and referees look at it like you're a diver. So when you go down...
whole season.
But like against Bournemouth, when he scored the second goal, he was going through and someone...
Daniels, I think it was Daniels right down the back of his...
And he carried on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could hear him scream through the camera. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one.
He's not staying on his feet.
So swings and roundabouts really with Salah at the moment. But personally, as long as he doesn't get that reputation for being a diver and it affects the referee's mindset and their thinking, then cool.
We,
innit?
you know, we just need the next game with no incident.
Yeah.
No incident, a clean, nice 3-0 win, please. You know, no drama, and him not to be in the headlines for the wrong reasons. Him not even to score.
The next game
you
is
know?
Leicester at home, isn't it? So that's on Wednesday, isn't it? It's midweek's Wednesday. So
Yeah.
Next
let's
Wednesday, midweek.
Yeah.
Home game.
yeah. So let's see, man. Under the lights,
We'll
let's
win
see.
that, yeah.
All right, boys. Moving on. I was gonna ask about the title race, and I was gonna ask, like, is this a 2-horse race? Because, you know, given the fact Spurs are missing Kane, Dele Alli, and Son has gone to.
He's back now.
I know he's back
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and Chelsea, their form and stuff, but. I feel that's a bit of a dead question because it's a rago, it's a 2-horse race, isn't it? It really is, isn't it? Like Chelsea, I don't know what Sarri's doing to them right now, but do you know what I mean? And Tottenham, personally, I always thought they were going to struggle because
Yeah, I didn't. There was a stage where I thought, you know what, Tottenham could actually push us and come second. I fancied Tottenham to come second. They was having a good, like when they beat Everton 6-2, I was like,
Yeah.
you know what?
But then
I fancied them.
they choked.
But it was Sam told me that they'd already lost 4 or 5 games by
Yeah.
then. I hadn't realised because they all seem
They've
to be
not
winning.
drawn. They've
to
not
me.
drawn all season.
Wow.
Ah, okay.
So it's like you can't be losing 6 games, 7 games
That
in
means
second, third place. You're not.
The
yeah.
chokes come early this season, though.
They
innit?
did come early. So, you know, as much as I was going to ask that question, I think that's a dead question, man. It's a straight 2-horse
definitely
race,
a
man.
2-horse race.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just us and City, man.
It's just crazy to think, like, going back to the City game. I think if we won that personally, that's
Didn't even need to win it.
just a
We
draw.
just need to draw it.
They've got
Yeah.
Arsenal, haven't they? Next, haven't they?
They've got
I
a
don't
couple.
know
They've
their
got
fixtures.
Arsenal and Chelsea back to
Arsenal
back.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
But
I mean,
then we can't even watch
well,
other teams.
as
and ask for favours.
recording today, before we started recording, it's Arsenal, Manchester United in the FA Cup, and coming into recording, it was 2-1 to Man United, and
So what are
same
you
old
saying?
story.
We can't rely on Arsenal. That's
Who can
interesting.
rely? Bruv,
Arsenal can't rely on Arsenal.
that's what
let's be
I'm
honest.
saying.
No, but like I think earlier, like a few weeks ago, we wouldn't have thought, you know, Leicester would have beat Man City, and they would have dropped the points against Palace. You know what I'm saying? So you just don't know.
No, but
Do you know what was great
Yeah,
about
Game
that?
by
No,
game.
but hold on,
It
hold
was
on.
the warning for us.
Yeah, but hold
Yeah,
on a second,
know.
Sam. Do you know what you're saying, though, JR? I could sooner see us and City dropping points against those teams than against Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham. Do you see what I mean? Against the big teams, I don't think they can touch Man City, Liverpool.
And the Palace game is why I feared. I was thinking, this is the game. Like,
Yeah.
we went 1-0 down. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
don't be one of those days.
Exactly.
Well, you know, say that, but at the moment, we're actually beating everyone.
Yeah, but come on,
Like,
man. I
literally
don't,
everyone.
I don't like that, man.
No,
That's
no,
like
I'm
a
not trying to
bit
be
of a
boastful.
bruv.
I'm not-
I know you're not boasting, bruv, but I'm just.
Bossy.
I'm just saying facts in a way.
No,
like,
you're-
'cause,
I know you're
we're
stating
looking
facts.
at what we're looking at the you know, not the top 6 or the top 6, but we've beaten every team outside the top 6. Drew with Arsenal, lost to City. Who else we got? Beat Tottenham,
Tottenham.
Beat United.
and we beat United. So we're kind of beating everyone.
Yeah, we're not doing too badly, but I don't know, man. I'm just very
only game
superstitious.
I'm
and
worried
We're
about
just still shook up.
is-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am. I'm
We're
scared.
just shook.
I'm scared.
You know,
Like,
we are scared.
I say it, innit? I'm scared.
Yeah, we're gonna
We're
be.
at the top. We're 4 points clear. I'm scared, innit?
But if you stick to the
haters
mantra
are
of
winning.
game at a time, you'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
we can go up
Listen,
to Leicester game and beat
Leo was always calling me calculator, and I don't mean to do it, bro. But the next time we play a game, they're likely to be a point behind
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a different level of pressure.
Yeah,
It's a
Well,
different.
the commentators in the last time City played when they played against Huddersfield say that Man City have been always chasing so far. The next time you play, blah blah blah, we're going to be chasing. So, like you said, it is.
It's different. It's different, and home against Leicester is just a tough game.
It's
You know,
Leicester.
so-
Could we be playing Leicester at a very good time, though? Because their manager's on the ropes.
Yeah, we
You know,
could
the
get him
players,
sacked, to be
the
fair.
players don't.
But
Another one.
Devil's advocate, could it be the worst time? Because if they're really for the manager, could they really show up?
Nah, look at the Wolves game, man.
Yeah, the Wolves game,
They
they
packed
showed
their
up
bags.
again.
True.
They
Stab
packed their
yourself,
bags.
Sim. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true.
What's our injuries? So what's the team saying? Have we got a fullback? We got a right back.
We got.
Do you know what they sorry to cut you, Slim. They said today that after the last game, Klopp said that Trent might be ready for Leicester. Now on his presser, or something they did in Dubai, they mentioned that he should be out for the next 3 games again. Just like that original diagnosis of him being out for a month is there. And he also said that Joe Gomez isn't ready for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. So we may not have a right back.
We may not have. But you know what? Go on.
Please don't say Camacho. I'm not having him.
I don't know
Why?
Yeah, this is
I'm
an
not
interesting one.
having Camacho. It's Camacho, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not having him. I'm like me. I'm more of a. I played the game, so I'm a defender, innit? So I'm looking at a defensive point of view. I wasn't having Trent to like this season because his position. I'm all about positional. Like where should he be at certain parts of the game? So I'm watching the Wolves game, in the FA Cup. I said, "Bro, why is everything coming down the right side?" I said, "Where's the right back?" Then the camera panned. He was in line with Sturridge and Origi. And ain't no one in telling him like, bro, you're
Well,
right
that's
back
the thing,
today.
yeah, but that's the
You're
thing,
right
like,
back, bro.
Klopp this is the thing with Klopp and defenders, right? Klopp doesn't coach defenders. He buys who he thinks can do the job, and he wants
There's
them
no
to be
shape.
natural. So Camacho in that game was playing alongside a 16-year-old. And he was probably just like, do what you do or go out and play. He probably doesn't even say anything to him. Do you know what I mean? And he's just playing like he plays with the under-23s. He's in
fair,
a breeze
that game was a free hit,
It was
though,
a
wasn't
joke
it?
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the Palace game, on the highlight on the game when I watched the whole game, when it was 3-2, I think Zaha was going at Camacho, and I was like penalty all day long, and Camacho got lucky, and that's why at the end of the game, Klopp went up to him and hugged him because of that
Do you know what
moment
Klopp
there.
said to him? He said that's the most important challenge of your career.
Is that what he said to him?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was luck. He was just lucky. Like Zaha was like licking his lips. Like,
but
I got one here.
this is
He got a
interesting.
toe in. He
This is
literally got a
interesting,
toe
yeah.
in.
Look, me and Sam spoke about this, right? Or in the group, but he responded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying next time we play a team at home who want to keep their wingers high and try and hit us, might be Leicester then.
Yeah.
And I guess if I was Claude Puel, I'd play Damari Gray on the left.
Yeah.
If Milner starts. Why not?
banned.
Why
Milner
not? Why
can't
not
start,
play
he's banned.
Camacho and say to him, coach him and say,
Stay.
stay in your lane.
Stay, boy.
The head goes, bro.
Because
I've seen
his
it.
pace.
The head's gone. Like, the head's
know,
gone.
you
You see
But
the headlines,
Camacho's
back
head
pages.
gone. His
Yeah.
head's gone. Like he would lose it and just start running upfield like a headless
Nah,
chicken.
but the thing is, he's played right back, right midfield, right forward, right inside forward. He's an offensive player.
Yeah.
So how do you stop him from his instincts?
It's
You
true.
just tell him. I don't.
Yeah,
look,
but-
Klopp,
Nah, it's in
get
game,
inside
it's-
Klopp's head. I don't think he says these things to defenders. I don't think he says.
Okay, wait, let me cut you all.
on.
So, if we've got no available right back, do we go to a sort of a free
No
No,
way.
we
No
draw
way.
Fabinho.
No.
Fabinho's Brazil's right
straight
back.
away.
Fabinho? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
right
He's
back.
Brazil's right back.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got to be Fabinho. It's a shame for him to leave, but yeah, Henderson's. I've always had a decent few weeks. Ronaldo, obviously, you according to you guys, is fucking now Frank Rijkaard. Yeah, so
when
he
is
could
it-
play. He could play number 6.
When is he back?
He's back. He was just.
Who, Winnie?
Yeah, he was just
Yeah,
like
no,
a
he's
knock,
back.
wasn't
He's
he? He
back.
was,
He's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it was anything serious,
Okay,
but
yeah, he's
yeah, he should be back. But you never know. You never know. You got to wait until
That's
the
a
day
good shout. It's
before,
got to be
innit?
Fabinho.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Okay.
see Milner play right
Fair
back.
enough.
Not
And-
Camacho.
Well, he can't.
Please.
Next game
No.
he's out, so this is what it is.
Not
Club
Camacho,
club
please.
challenge.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm not having him.
All right. Well, let's
No Camacho.
Nope.
listen. Let's wind this down on some good
I'm not
news.
having it.
Listen, boys, let's wind this down on some good news. So we had our right back and our left back sign new contracts.
Yep.
This week. Was it this week? Yeah, it was this week.
Robotron.
Well, it was the week before. Robotron, yep, and Trent. Which is yeah, Jay, that's what we call him, Robotron.
Not Braveheart.
That's his new name. Nah, forget that, man. That's been done, man. That's been done. You know what I'm saying?
Robotron, all right.
But
Now Robertson strikes me as a bit of a reader. I don't think he's much of just a warrior guy. I think he's a very clever guy.
I think
You
he
know
got
what
the
I mean?
name against Man
Sensible.
City, the 4-3, when he started running after the whole
Yeah.
defenders. And
Yeah.
It's like, right, yeah.
great
Robotron
guy.
3000 is it? Or
Yeah,
2000?
Robotron 3000. Yeah, great guy, man. But you know what? There's a plus them signing long-term contracts. I mean,
Yeah,
Definitely.
massive.
you look at the whole age of our squad and how old they are now, and how like, they're going to be around for a long time, man.
You know
So
what? I was watching the Tottenham game yesterday, Tottenham-Chelsea, and Rose started on the bench for some crazy reason. Sorry to talk about Tottenham. And then he came on, and I just thought he was terrific. And like terrific. And he's a top player. Had him at West Ham when he was 17.
not even terrific, you know, terrific. You know?
Terrific, yeah.
Harry with us tonight.
That's a new word for you lot out there. terrific.
Anyway, and he was, the way he controlled the ball, chopping it, chasing lost causes, whipping in. And I thought, and I thought of Robertson. So I thought to myself, Robertson stands out. I don't see other fullbacks, right or left, doing what Robertson does. So when I saw Rose doing it, it made me think of Robertson. And no one's made me do that this season. Do you know what I mean? He's so far ahead as a fullback. Like I said, right and left.
Both ways as well.
Both ways. He like when he was facing up against Sterling, you know what I mean, that classic side on eyes, he was watching the ball, not the feet. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's always sort of like ready to pounce. He's fucking unbelievable.
He is.
He's unbelievable.
So I was going to say, man, how happy are we that we've pinned him down to a long-term contract?
It's terrific.
Man? That's a great word. That's a great word. No, it's good to see these young boys happy to...
Trent? Should we talk
Trent
about
as well?
Trent?
Yeah,
What do
Trent
you
as
boys
well.
reckon?
It's good to see these young boys signing his contract.
You can see he's Liverpool through and through. You know
Future
what I'm saying?
captain, man.
Yeah, like I wasn't keen on him, to be fair, early, like when he first came in, just for defensive. If you're playing right back, there's a B, it means back. Yeah. Defend first, and then, you know what I'm saying, you can go forward. But Klopp's mentality is a lot different. He's obviously, you got to do it both ways kind of thing. But yeah, I think he's definitely, people have been onto him. He's had some good coaching, and his positional play is so much better now. So yeah, I'm...
Do you guys see him in
Team
midfield
Trent.
in the future? Is that
Nah.
100%. If you look at what Gerrard said about him, when he called him out, I think he's good enough. I'm not saying
he's not good enough, but I just think he's made that right back position his own, Trent, and I just feel like putting him anywhere else
at that age.
Yeah, putting him anywhere else, I just feel like you
Gerrard
lose.
had a couple games and looked like he could play football.
Gerrard can play in goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There you go. And most players can probably play most positions, but comfortable in that position, established, accomplished in that position, no.
Shaqiri can't play DM, bro.
Who?
Shaqiri can't play DM. Sorry to kill you, bro.
Okay, but I think you know what I mean, though. You know what I'm saying? I just think I think Trent should be our right back for now to the future.
Now?
Yeah, he's young.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So young. Do you know what I mean? Just to think like he's still got 7-8 years. Like that's till he hits his, what has he got?
He's got
6 years,
10 to 9 years. Like 20.
No, but I'm just saying 6 years to hit his prime.
Exactly, yeah.
To hit his prime.
Can't
when
be
he'll be like
really.
25, 26, and then beyond that. Do you know what I mean?
Peak is like 20, 27. That's when
go.
he's gone complete. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. So we still haven't got the best
Can I
out
ask
of
a
him.
question, host? What else? Have we got many more on the agenda?
No, we're actually.
Would any of you guys take Zaha? Because
Yes. But you know what? I thought Klopp was speaking about him, and something just went in my mind. I was like, he might go for him. You know?
What was he saying?
He was saying after the game. He was like, Zaha, outstanding player.
That's a proper impression. That's a proper impression.
That's how he did it. He did it like that, literally. Like they was talking to like, Zaha, outstanding player. Wow, just like, wow, what a player. I was like, something was like.
But we've asked that question before in the WhatsApp group, like, would we take Zaha?
And the thing don't rate him.
The thing with Zaha is for me right now, he's a big fish in a small pond. He comes to Liverpool, he's now a small fish in a big pond, and I'm not sure if he can do it.
We're a collective now.
I'm not
older.
Do you know what? I understand that, but what my point is that I'm not sure. The limelight's not on Zaha at Liverpool.
What more can he do?
He's not the star. Do you understand what I mean? At Palace, he's the star, and I think that works for him.
All right. I would think about it like if I was trying to convince his opinions. If I was trying to convince you, I would just talk about Klopp's record with players. So the question is, do you think he's talented?
He's bags of talent.
Do you think he's fast? He's got experience in the Prem. Give him to Klopp. Do you know what I mean? Like Palace.
Fuck it. Give everyone to Klopp. Hazard, all of them. Bring them all to Klopp. Ericsson.
We want the rough diamonds because I read like it was in a proper paper. So you know when they write an article and you think, okay, there's more to it because the journalists know everything. Like they talk to the players.
Whoa. I think we know our stuff. Do you know?
I mean, in terms of the rumours and shit, right? And apparently Palace will listen to offers. No, it said Palace will demand more than 50. That means someone said we want more than 50. That's how it works, right?
But it's Dortmund.
But it's obviously because it's a foreign team, so we would have to pay maybe 60, 65. The way money's going anyway, money's a myth anyway.
That's light work.
That's 25 mil years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, that's light work.
Money's a myth anyway. So I would take him and pray that Brewster comes forward. That's 6 forwards.
How old is Zaha?
24,
5. Wow.
So he's more for the here and now. I'd take him, but I'd be worried that he'd be a bit part player though. He'd have to be comfortable with bit part.
Listen, his output at Palace isn't even consistent. He scored 3 goals this season.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's their best player.
They're playing him as a striker. He's not a striker.
True.
He's better off from the wide, one of the wide areas.
He's better from wide. But I'd want to see his output. It's like when Coutinho was getting linked with Barca, I was like, he's not going for about 2 or 3 years because his output wasn't good enough.
Then he dropped back in.
It's like he had to get 10 goals and 10 assists first season, then get 15 and 15. At the moment, Zaha's not even getting that at Palace, and he's their main guy. Everything goes through
but
him.
Look, we're talking about development. We're talking about today.
No, not at 24.
No.
Not at 24. I think he should be coming.
What I was going to say is
really ready to go.
We were in the car watching a bit of the Arsenal game, and we saw Ramsey on that run, and I said, Ramsey, Arsenal players weren't coached for 3 or 4 seasons. Arsenal fans know that. They weren't coached. They were just going out and playing football. Do you know what I mean? So no one's developing. You can develop at any time. And I think Zaha has not been developed. Roy, however you pronounce his name, right? The R's.
Roy.
So Alex said, I'm a really good manager. That guy. Yeah. He even said, oh, we've been trying to get Zaha to go beyond, to get the ball over the top. And we talked about it earlier, didn't we? That he likes to get it to feet. The club will tell him, you're going to go over. Robertson's going to play it here, or Fabinho's going to play it here. That's what you're going to do now. That's going to add a dimension to him. Yeah, football and developing is about having different dimensions. You don't just stay in one dimension. Do you know what I mean? You go to alternate universes and you become fucking top level.
Fair enough.
For the record, Paul, I'll take
enough.
him, but I'm just not desperate to get him like everyone else.
I'm desperate. I think he's the fucking.
I think I'm in Sam's corner. Like I'll take him, but I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate to have him at my club at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
I'll take him.
To be fair,
I'll take him. I'm a fan. Come on, bro.
The microphone.
Look at the bromance growing there. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good connection.
We know attacking players. You know what I mean?
Man. Come on.
You're not getting safe. Nah, not at my club. Nah.
Anyway, all right, boys, it's time to wind it up. Do you know what I mean? Time goes fast when you're having fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's time to wind it down. But boys, it's been emotional as always, man. It's been a pleasure. I've been your host, Slim. Today we've had with us Sam,
Yes, peeps.
Paul,
What's happening?
JR. Thank you for coming down
Thanks for having
again.
me,
Big up,
man.
Jay.
We're gonna have you down again soon.
Hopefully
man.
soon.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm saying.
Just waiting for the call,
Yeah.
and I'll be back here.
Excellent contributor. Excellent.
Aye.
All right, guys,
Love it,
until
you
the
lot
next
stop
time.
it,
Stop the bromance. Hey, guys, and listen, if you want to get us, if you agree with what we said or you disagree with what we said or you want to comment, feel free to get us on Twitter at South Anfield and at South Anfield, and on Instagram we are what are we on Instagram? I keep forgetting the Instagram. Always Instagram, Anfield_South1. Yeah, leave a comment under the video. Also at the same time, share, like, subscribe, man. Please do. You know what I mean? Until the next time, we out.
Oh my word, that's unbelievable, it really is. I think they should stick to playing football. Terrible. What do you think, Kenny? Oh yeah!